Could the recent Microsoft deal with Activision be good for gaming? How's it going, everyone? Hope y'all been having a really good day so far. My name is Ward, and welcome back to Sigmas and Gamers. And today we're going to be going over an article that kind of discusses that talks about the recent topic of Microsoft acquiring Activision, or will be acquiring Activision and Blizzard here at some point, and of course in it, it's going to be talking about why it's actually going to be might actually be a bad thing for gamers, but of course there might be some pros and cons to it. But so, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this, shall we? So the article's Yahoo Finance starts off saying that the video game industry is consolidating. Need proof. Look no further than Microsoft's decision to buy Call of Duty maker Activision and Blizzard for $68.7 billion. The move, if it closes as planned in 2023, will make Microsoft the world's third largest gaming company by revenue, behind Tencent and Sony, and give it a significant mobile gaming presence. So just last week, Take-Two Interactive, the company behind games like Grand Theft Auto, Redemption, and 2K series, announced its purchase of mobile gaming giant Zynga for $12.7 billion. So I guess how you like that, Don Matrick. So Sony, meanwhile, bought 6 game studios in 2021, include Valkyrie Entertainment, for an undisclosed sum. And let's not forget Microsoft's $7.5 billion purchase of ZeniMax, or Nintendo's acquisition of Luigi's Mansion 3 developer Next Level Games last year. So studios and publishers being bought up isn't new, and the Activision Blizzard move will be a boon to Microsoft, allowing it to be a better build out its Game Pass cloud service and mobile game aiming operations, but it could also hurt gamers in the long run, forcing them more than ever to choose between Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, as the console makers increasingly snatch up third-party developers and publishers. And I gotta agree with that statement, saying that it could actually be harmful for other gamers who rather play, have some kind of preference on certain on what kind of consoles or platforms they want to play on. But now all the games they used to play them on, now they probably won't be able to do that, since now it's being owned by this other company, to where they're going to have to invest more money into another platform to actually play that particular title, and so on. But I could probably go on with this, but I'll probably give up most of my thoughts later after I'm done breaking through this article. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and get back to this. When so much of gaming is owned by so few organizations, it makes me nervous. This, as the analyst from Forrester, Will McKeon-White, told Yahoo Finance. So Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard and last year's acquisition of ZeniMax means that some of the most beloved and most played properties and games will be now under the roof when the deal closes, which will be Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, and Call Microsoft Home. Yep, that's a lot of IPs, especially very popular ones. So if you're a Microsoft player, then that's great news. It means that all those titles will appear on Xbox, or at least continue to be available on PC for years to come. So if you're a Nintendo or a Sony player, though, the deal could deprive you of your favorite games. So console makers have always used exclusive titles from their own studios to get gamers to purchase their device. Think Halo on the Xbox, Uncharted on PlayStation, Super Mario Bros. On the classic Nintendo Entertainment System. The console makers closely guard these first-party titles, ensuring you can play them only on their systems. So yeah, right on the money right there. And as a result, third-party developers and publishers play a huge role in the gaming industry by giving gamers titles to play regardless of the system they own. For example, you could play Take-Two Interactive Grand Theft Auto or EA's Madden series regardless of whether you own an Xbox or PlayStation. And yes, some outliers are too graphically intensive to run on Nintendo Switch. Other time exclusives will be released on one console weeks or months before another. But third-party studios traditionally seek to get their games on as many services as possible. And after all, the more gamers you reach, the more money your games will make. Hey, that kind of lines up with Phil Spencer's philosophy on how you should actually market games and actually make them more accessible to a lot of people, whatever console you play your games on. And as the industry consolidates, though, titles that were previously third-party games will become first-party exclusives. Microsoft already made that clear when it purchased ZeniMax and announced the highly anticipated Starfield will be an Xbox and PC exclusive. So for PlayStation gamers, that means if you want to play one of the most hyped games in years, you'll need to buy an Xbox, sign up for Microsoft's Game Pass, or get a gaming PC. Current generation consoles, if you even find them now, cost as much as $499. And there's no word yet on what Activision Blizzard games Microsoft will take exclusive to its platforms. It is hard to imagine it would cut PlayStation gamers off. So from cash flow from a cash cow like Call of Duty Warzone, we still do not know whether games like the upcoming Overwatch 2 will come onto all consoles. Well, we'll find out what happens. So Microsoft is moving to take over cloud, console, and mobile gaming. So Microsoft, of course, has a reason to buy up huge company. Well, to buy up huge companies like Activision Blizzard. And the three reasons actually it means that gamers will flock to tech giants in its latest Xbox Series consoles. It makes the company's Game Pass service even more appealing, and it immediately gives Microsoft a presence in the fast-growing mobile gaming category. Selling consoles is a must for Microsoft to make up for the cost of developing them in the first place, and mobile gaming will allow the company to reach gamers around the world who do not have access to high-end PCs or consoles. But the Game Pass that holds the most promise for the company at $14.99 per month. The service gives gamers access to more than 100 games, as well as the ability to play games on smartphones, tablets, laptops, and smart TVs by the cloud. And Microsoft is angling to make this kind of Netflix for gaming, and adding Activision Blizzard titles makes it all the more appealing. And of course, that gives Microsoft even more incentive to cut out Sony and Nintendo users. So Microsoft Activision deal does not have to be inherently bad for gamers, and it only makes sense for Microsoft to try to make the most out of the deal by making some titles exclusive. But if it cuts games from competing consoles off entirely, it will hurt players and the industry as a whole. I gotta agree with that last statement. And so that's gonna be it for this article. And based on my own take on this, I gotta say, this article on Yahoo Finance has a lot of valid points, which kind of expands further the pros and cons of Xbox. And for the pros, it'll actually make more likely get more sales for a lot of Xbox Series X consoles, and get more Xbox Game Pass as profits, get more profits off of Xbox Game Pass, and maybe also probably get more PCs as well. Like any kind of PC gaming, at least it'll help about the PC gaming market in some way or form. But also the cons is that it will limit access to the consumers. Here's for those who over the years who rather play Call of Duty on their PlayStation or Nintendo Switches now. But that happens to be the case with Microsoft acquiring Activision, to where now that Call of Duty will be a first-party title, which you can only play on Microsoft consoles like the Xbox Series X, or probably on PC, like on Steam or something like that. I gotta say, that's really gonna hurt the gamers a lot, and which will cause them saying, "Oh man, now I gotta buy another console, just to play this particular game." So yeah, that's kind of that's the kind of dilemma that a lot of people, including myself, have to face, such as oh yeah, I like this game, but I can't play it anywhere else, so might as well get that console that really appeals to me, which is one of the reasons why that I because back in the day, I used to get an Xbox, used to buy Xbox consoles mainly so that I could play the latest entry in the Halo series back in the day. But now, the reason why I do not have an Xbox Series X, and of course I know some people some naysayers say, "Oh wait, but you're technically going to do Steam and all that, so basically you're using Microsoft's Windows, as in using a Microsoft product and all that." But here, just bear with me, and now that I can and with it on the topic saying that, oh, I used to play Halo on the Xbox exclusively, which is one of the reasons why I used to buy Xbox consoles mainly to play the latest entry in the Halo series. But the reason why I do not have an Xbox Series X at this point is mainly because as I can actually play Halo Infinite on the PC and do not have to stress out trying to find an Xbox Series X due to how limited they are, or this time around, due to how big of a demand that it is right now for the PS5 and Xbox Series X, and just constantly stressing out trying to get the latest console just to play a Halo Infinite. Guess what? I don't have to worry about that right now, since I can actually play it on playing on Steam on my Omen PC. And of course, right now I don't have the best specs for it, but that says I can play in a very playable state even at 30 frames per second. All I can say is that I'm very content with it. And so yeah, and all I can say is that it can actually, it does hurt a lot of the more other player. It can really hurt a lot of gamers as well. Just like saying that could actually be a bad thing, since, like I said before, like also in this article, when they talk about, oh, now they cannot, if Call of Duty goes first party, now they're gonna have to, a lot of PlayStation and Nintendo players now gotta migrate to Xbox just to play the latest entry in the Call of Duty franchise. And so yeah, that's kind of like my take on it. And also, that's a really good article, I gotta say, and very well written, and it kind of lays out the cons of Microsoft buying Activision, which I gotta say, a very well thought out and so on. And so that's going to be it for today's video, and that's kind of like my thoughts in a bit of a semi rant on this topic as well. And if you found it to be helpful and informative, then be sure to drop a like as always, subscribe for more content like this, hit the bell to be notified when my next video is going to drop. And if you have your own thoughts or opinions based on Microsoft acquiring Activision and seeing how that will negatively affect you as a gamer or not, then go ahead and solve in the comment section below, get a discussion going, and be very constructive as possible. And thank you so much for watching, and as always, we will catch you all in the next one.